Oh, and they're getting the chicken bacon ranch. They're not getting the $5 footlong of the day.
They're not getting sub of the day. They're splurging. They're going for the combo with the chips.
They're not waiting for Saturday for the meatball. They get that whenever they want.
But I do understand. Oh, they're getting the meatball whenever they want. I'll tell you that, Caolan.
Whoa, we're not going into that.
Just a little meatballs, that's all.
It's not a foot long either.
Oh, dear God.
Take it up a few notches right now. See if y'all can keep up.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 23 of the ScruffCast. I'm John.
And I'm Dan.
And this week, we've got a special guest on the ScruffCast.
We sure do.
His name, Caolan. Introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, I'm Caolan. I'm the biggest ScruffCast fan in the world, and I'm here to just try and not ruin it.
Oh.
That's right. On the ScruffCast, we help dreams come true.
He's a Make-A-Wish Foundation.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation reached out to us.
And so we decided to have young Caolan on the show.
I asked for Iron Man, and I got the ScruffCast, but, this is a close second.
You know what? That's not bad.
We actually had no plans of bringing Caolan on the show, or else we would have told you guys. But he's here visiting. He has nowhere to stay, so we don't have much of a choice.
I'm a bit of a vagrant, Dan, so...
We were going to have him just sit there and watch us record, but he just kept staring at us.
You got to make dreams come true once in a while, right?
So we set up another mic. And hopefully this time the sound quality will be a lot better than when we had our last guest on.
Anthony,
this time
you might remember him.
We got it figured out, we think.
There was a serious capital investment from the ScruffCast getting some more equipment in here, so...
He's talking too smart over there, this Caolan.
Yeah, I know. Our last guest, he just chimed in once in a while, made us some drinks.
That was it. Yeah, we like that other guy. He just made us drinks the whole time.
Gotta get more liquored up to be on the spot in the ScruffCast. I forgot the name of it for a second.
All right.
All right. Moving on.
Let's get going here.
Now, listeners might remember last week, we talked a little bit about, was his name Daniel or was his name Michael?
His name was not Daniel, that's for sure.
What was his name? A New York millennial, anyway, according to the headline. So, you might remember last week we talked about the man who refused to move out of his parents' house. And he's 30 years old.
Michael Rotondo.
And his parents took him to court, and they had the judge rule, okay, you got to move. Oh, and just to give the listeners a heads up, we haven't briefed Caolan on any of these stories, so he's learning right along with you guys.
Yeah.
Even worse, I missed last week's podcast.
So he doesn't know what the hell.
Doesn't even know this story.
Yes. So, Michael Rotondo didn't want to move out of his parents' house. His parents took him to court, served him with 5 eviction letters, and then the judge ruled, okay, buddy, you got to move out. So we have an update. So the judge ruled he had to move out, so he had to pack up his belongings. He was given a deadline by the time he had to move. But Mr. Rotondo, he just couldn't have things go smoothly. He actually got in an altercation with his parents.
But, hold on. Before you even start this,
yes,
there's a new thing to add here. He has an 8-year-old son.
Yes, they didn't mention this anywhere in any of the older stories.
This bum living at home has an 8-year-old son.
Yeah.
On top of it
they
all.
didn't mention this in any of the other stories. Otherwise, we would have mentioned it last week.
Breaking development.
We're right at the forefront of the news on the ScruffCast. So, he was ordered to move his belongings out, and his son, by a certain deadline.
No, I don't think his son lived there. I don't think he has custody of his son.
Oh. Okay, well, his son was there, I guess. He was playing with Legos at one point, and the Legos were left behind. So he told his dad...
Let's not kid ourselves. This is not that kid Legos. It's his Legos.
It's probably his Legos.
Loser.
So he talked to his dad and was like, I left some Legos in there. My son, in air quotes here, left the Legos behind. I want them back. And the dad was like, okay, well, tell me which ones. I'll go inside and get the Legos and bring them out. And he's like, no, I got to go back in there. But, I guess the deadline had passed. So he called the cops on his parents.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure the cops showed up and they're like, oh, my God.
Jesus Christ. Give him the Legos.
Yeah. Give him the goddamn Legos and get the hell out of here.
That's pretty much it.
It's going to be the first case of Grand Theft Lego ever run.
Oh, coming in with the zingers on the ScruffCast this week.
I'm here for bad jokes only.
But what's interesting is he was aided $3,000 by Alex Jones. You know who Alex Jones is?
The InfoWars guy. He's this crazy
conspiracist guy. Yeah. He used to have or does he still have a radio show? He used to have a radio show anyway.
I don't know. He has his own web show.
He's nuts.
On the internet. Yeah, this guy's crazy. We won't even go into it.
No, it's too much. But anyway, yeah, that's the update on him. So he moved out, but there's still some stuff. And now he has no relationship with his parents anymore. Like, that's it.
I imagine this would put a strain on your relationship with your
Oh,
parents.
yeah.
There's a good quote in the article here from him where there's a bunch of journalists, obviously, had showed up watching him pack his stuff up and leave. And he says to the journalist, "This isn't a game show." When talking about the Legos, "I don't have to guess what's behind door number 1. Ooh. I just want my Legos." I threw in the very last.
He
part
did not
about
say
I
it.
just want my Legos, but
He was thinking it.
yeah, just ridiculous.
So long story short, the judge gave him, what was it, till Friday. I don't know when this was posted, to move out. And so he's out.
Just to make matters worse, his car had a broken coolant system, so it took him a few times to start the car.
Yeah, I think he had to get
leave.
it boosted.
His parents were looking outside the window. They're like, "Oh, jeez. Calling CAA. How quick can you get here? Get him the hell out of here. Here's our chance."
I wonder where he's living now.
I don't know. Somewhere where he can have all the Legos he wants.
I suppose so.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Just a small update. On the ScruffCast, we tell you we're going to provide updates on the stories.
And we never do. So
We never do, but this time we did. Oh, we did do an update way back when with the whole Justin Timberlake and ticket drama.
Oh, I don't even want to get back into
Yeah,
that.
that's a banned topic.
Banned topic.
Anyways, moving on. Do you want to take the next one, Dan?
I think I do if I know what's next. Okay. So, Serena Williams. She returned to tennis after having a baby. Just, when did she have the baby? A couple months ago, maybe?
That sounds
What was that?
plausible.
September 2017. Okay, it was a lot longer.
A couple months.
That's
Couple.
6-ish months. We're fine.
Okay, half a year ago. She had this baby. So she just returned to tennis. Now, before she left, she held the #1 world ranking in women's tennis. But since she was off for, I'd say at least a year, April 2017, so just over a year, she's been off for. She dropped to 451st in the world because she's not playing, right?
Fair.
Makes sense.
But John, people are a little up in arms about this, aren't they?
A little, but
Maybe not up in arms, but there's a
not
debate.
up in arms so much as it's proposed a good question, which is what should happen in this scenario, right? In a typical job, right? A woman gets pregnant, she has a baby, she'll be away from her job, she's on maternity leave, right?
Yeah.
But in a competitive sport like tennis, the athletes have this world ranking. If you're away and you're not playing, you drop in the ranks.
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And then now it's sparked people to ask, how should these sports handle maternity leave? Because obviously if she's #1 at that, like, this isn't, just some random tennis player like, ranked 200th and they, went on maternity leave, come back and they're like falling on the ranks. She was #1 in the world, so she's like undisputably one of the best, if not the best, female tennis players in the world.
Right? Probably of all time, yeah.
Probably of all time. So it's an interesting question because it's like she's not dropping in the ranks because she's not as good. She couldn't play, right? She had a baby. She had to take care of her baby.
So how do you feel about this?
It's very interesting because in the case of like a typical job, right? There's laws and stuff in place, right?
You can't lose your job.
You can't lose your job. There's a certain percentage of your wage and stuff. But in the case of like a star athlete like this, it's almost like you're self-employed, right?
Yeah.
Almost. You could definitely make that argument. But then I think, like, are there players' unions?
I was just about to ask.
place?
They're like a tennis players union.
I have to imagine there must be some sort of players' union, but I don't know. Like, well, I'm sure this isn't the first time a female tennis player had a baby and then,
No.
taking a break from the sport.
you know what? I
But
find-
somebody of this caliber, for sure.
Kim Clijsters left with a baby years ago and came back.
There you go. Yeah. I find it hard to compare it to a regular job, having maternity leave, because you're not losing your job in tennis. You're not losing. You come back and you're ready. You're just losing your ranking.
But
it's
also,
not like, oh, you can't play in tournaments anymore. Sorry.
But also in tennis, like, you could lose your job just by not being good enough.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose you could make the same argument for any job.
Any job, yeah.
But I kind of view it as being like self-employed.
Yeah.
You're working for yourself, right?
But you know what, though? I don't know. I don't really see the problem in her losing her rank because, like, you know what? If it was like a co-ed type division or whatever she was in, and, like, I could see the argument being made. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's unfair that she loses her rank because she had to go on maternity leave when the guys can't have babies. Biology. We've discussed biology before on this. I know all about it. I find like it's all women. You know what I mean? They all will go through the same thing. Maybe they decide not to have kids while they're playing tennis actively. Maybe they decide they do. You know what I mean? It's up to them, really. And if they do, then they're going to lose their rankings too.
So
Everybody's at the same disadvantage, I guess you could say, right?
So you figure it's like an even playing ground here.
It seems like it. Caolan, you want to weigh into this?
I'm just thinking about, is it a punishment to lose your ranking in tennis? Because in theory, right, the lower ranked players in a tournament get faced off against the upper ranked players, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So replacement number one, whoever it is this year, whether it's Sharapova or
I don't know. I don't know who's number one.
But anyways, replacement number one is in theory now in round one of the next tournament she is facing Venus Williams. So instead of getting kind of Serena Williams, sorry.
Yeah.
Serena Williams. And instead of kind of getting a, advantage for having a higher ranking, all of a sudden you're coming to this tournament and having to face who is legitimately probably one of the best tennis players in the world, right?
Yeah.
It's a similar situation happened years ago when she came back in for doubles. She started playing with her sister, and they didn't have a rank for her because she never really played doubles.
Right.
So all of a sudden, all these, teams who were making their earnings in these tournaments
We're getting smoked by her
being
and her
ranked
sister.
number one coming in, all of a sudden we're facing an unranked doubles pair of Serena and Venus Williams.
So you're saying it's actually unfair to the people that would be taking over like first, second place after she leaves.
Nail on the head, Danny. That's exactly it.
Interesting take.
I think
I didn't look at.
I get what you're saying, but I kind of disagree with that because in that scenario, right? It's like because she's fallen so far in the rankings. Let's say she had just fallen a little bit in the rankings, right? So she's kind of more in the middle, right? So
30th.
apparently the WTA, like World Tennis or Women's Tennis Association, has a maternity leave policy where players who take time off for pregnancy are eligible for a special ranking, which grants them access to 8 events, including 2 Grand Slams. So you don't just get cast away, but you definitely drop in the rankings.
Because I would assume at a certain rank, you don't even qualify for tournaments.
Yeah,
Just in general, right?
So this protects you from just falling right out of the rankings, and now you got to climb your way back up.
That's fair,
right?
yeah.
Because you're not losing your rank because you're not skilled or you're not playing good tennis, right? You're just literally not playing any tennis.
Yeah, because you can't. That's it.
It's the nature of the tennis ranking system. It's kind of an aggregate over the year system kind of thing. This many tournaments won, this many top 4 finishes, et cetera, kind of thing. You can't just copy paste last year's kind of thing. That's the way it works.
No, exactly. And what I was thinking too is how would you do it? You know what I mean? Does she get to keep her number one world ranking? What if before she left there was someone right on her tail for the world number one ranking? And what if that girl now wins 5 tournaments in a row? Realistically, she would have passed Serena Williams, but now she doesn't get to because Serena Williams is locked in at number one because she had a baby. That's kind of unfair to the second place person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's complicated, right? It is like Caolan said, it is a year-long thing. So it says here, a WTA player's rank is determined by the points she earns from tournament wins, calculated on a 52-week rolling basis. Of tournament draws, seedings, blah, blah, blah. They're all dictated by the player's rank.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you miss 9 months, right, you can only play 3 months, let's say, then that's like 25% of the maximum rank you could have, right?
This reminds me a little bit of what you see in kind of MMA, where you have a champion who's injured for a while, kind of thing, and then all of a sudden the 2 and 3s are fighting but aren't allowed to get the belt because the real champ's hurt, or sometimes they get the belt but then immediately have to fight the former champ, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're talking
That's
about,
interesting. Yeah,
it's
a
like
good point.
I'd like to be number one. Oh, but number one is on maternity leave, or an example is if she was just hurt for the year, do you strip her of number one title or not, kind of thing. It's very difficult.
If
I guess it's kind of unfair both ways.
Yeah.
Right? But
Yeah.
I
If
mean,
you get injured, I think it's more fair to drop in the ranks. But
Really?
well, to a degree, it kind of depends, right?
Okay.
Like maternity leave, that's something different. I don't think you should just plummet out of the ranks. I don't know if this special ranking that you're eligible for is the right solution.
I think it does an excellent job because Danny brought this up. You drop below, I don't know what the number is, let's say 200 in the world rankings. All right, you're not playing in the French Open anymore. Well, hang on, that's a Grand Slam. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Since they've made this exception already that she gets special status, she's allowed to participate into these tournaments based on, I assume, her old rankings. It's not like anyone who's on maternity leave just gets to come back into the majors, right? It has to be, up until the maternity leave, you were in a certain thing.
This special ranking gives you
And
eligible
so,
for like 8 events.
She was playing in the French Open just yesterday, or this week. I mean, for someone who hasn't played all year, right, if it was an injury, that would be very difficult to allow, kind of thing. And so I think there has to be a little bit of credit here on this maternity policy that they do have, that she did get to come back and have an opportunity to make as much wages as she did before she left, kind of thing.
Yeah, when normal ranked 450 first person wouldn't have a chance to play in these tournaments. Yeah, I get that.
I think that's
I
fair.
feel like, you know what, let's say there's, I don't know how many people are in like a Grand Slam tournament. Let's just say 80. You know what I mean? They should do 79 plus her. You know what I mean? Even though she's ranked 451st, because of the maternity leave thing, she should get kind of like a buy-in no matter what. So you take the top 79 and then her. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's a tough call because there's hundreds of tennis tournaments a year kind of thing. You don't go to all of them. You pick a few and like, I want to qualify
like golf.
for my 4 Grand Slams, so I'm going to go to this one kind of thing. And so this, John, I'd love to hear more about this maternity policy. I'll probably look it up later, but the idea that, you get access to this many kind of normal tournaments, and I think you said 2 Grand Slams kind of thing. It's like, oh, it's 2 Grand Slams. Like, she's a notorious, hard court and grass player kind of thing. She's not great on clay, and yet here she's playing in the French Open. What if she didn't want to burn one of her 2 tournaments on this one? Like, there's a lot of
I wonder if it is 2 specific ones or like just any 2.
Or I'll have to dig next 2.
Yeah,
kind of thing,
maybe I'll have to dig up some more info, and maybe I'll tweet it from our Twitter account, where the listeners can find us at ScruffCast. Or if they have their own thoughts on this maternity policy and whatever else, they want to tell us we're doing a great job, or they like our special guests, or they don't like our special guests, you can email us, scruffcast@gmail.com.
That's right. That's what we want. We want emails about our guest this next week.
Yeah, specifically,
his performance.
I want a critical analysis.
I'm gonna give him an 8.5 out of 10 so far. I think he's doing great.
You just happen to hit a topic I follow a little bit.
All right, well, let's see
He
if he
got
knows.
lucky on that first one.
Let's see if he
where it
knows.
goes
Ooh,
from here.
tennis, I'm in.
Let's see if he knows anything about this next topic. So, we're talking about superstar athletes here. Well, the next topic, we're talking about people who aren't such superstars. This story takes place in Alabama, a news article this week, about a fitness gym that put up a sign on the side of the highway that said...
a billboard, a big billboard.
A big billboard that said, "Tired of being fat and ugly? Just be ugly." And then had
City Fitness.
And then had the phone number for the gym. And then people are up in arms in Alabama. So the Alabama residents, they're complaining. But the owner says, "I'm not backing down. I'm keeping that sign up." So Scott Campbell, the owner of Pell City Fitness, has come under fire for a sign that was erected in Pell City on May 15th. With officials telling him to take it down or risk a fine. So the officials are actually telling him, take the sign down.
But apparently, they were not telling him to take the sign down because of what it said. Apparently, it was like a permit issue. He didn't get a proper
These
permit.
goddamn news articles.
Or something like that.
Like,
I know.
what a load of crap.
Hold on, though, because people are still freaking out about it. But that was the reason the city wanted to take it down. They said they didn't care what was up on it. They don't care. But it was a permit issue, which he got sorted out, and he was keeping the sign up.
According to Campbell, the guy who put up the sign owns the gym, the official did not give him a reason why the sign needed to be removed. This son of a bitch. He's a liar. Just making stuff up.
You know, if you read the rest of the article, you'd see what it says.
Yes, but you just told me.
You were the one who posted this article. Did you even read it?
No.
Well, all right.
I just read the headline.
ScruffCast.
I just read the headline, Dan.
All right.
Anyway, so I see that people were on both sides of the fence, right? Some quotes from a Facebook page here were saying, "Pay the fine and leave it up. Great sign." Or, "The sign should be taken down. Think about it. Some people are already struggling being bullied, and my opinion is that the sign is making it harder on people being bullied already." Another person wrote, and they also said, "I'm not fat, nor am I ugly." So they're completely qualified to give a non-biased takedown of the sign.
I just don't, like... Like, people are already struggling with being bullied. Like, are you serious? It's
give
like,
me a goddamn
nobody's
break.
saying this to you. You know what I mean? Like, "Oh, you're fat and ugly. You should join my gym." It's just a sign. Don't read it.
It was
Don't
asking-
join the gym.
It was asking a question. Are you tired of being fat and ugly? You could go, I'm not tired of being fat and ugly. I'm not fat and I'm not ugly.
That sign does not apply to me. And you would move on.
Just keep on driving. It's like it said, have you been in a medical trial with some certain pill and then now there's all these lawsuits going on? You might be entitled to a reward. You'd see that commercial on TV, you'd be like, no, I wasn't in that trial. I'm not entitled to that reward. But these
You go down to the deep
around,
south, you see those billboards like, say no to abortion. It's like, that's also not going to affect
God
me.
doesn't want it that way. Like,
Yeah.
You think about the classic, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your child is? I don't have a child. Why are you making me watch
This
crap?
doesn't
There you go.
affect me.
and the owner actually said, if you were offended by the sign, you would not fit in at the gym.
Oh,
Interesting. Tough guy.
I mean, he has the balls to put that sign up in the first place. You know he's going to stand by.
Well, this guy, apparently he actually used to weigh 300 pounds.
He's a success story.
Yeah, he's like, I used to be fat and ugly. Now I'm just ugly. Be like me.
Now he's a successful small business owner in the Southern American states.
I don't know. I got to hand it to this guy.
I'm
Not backing down.
I just don't understand people get so angry about things, This is a weekly topic. Is just people getting mad about stuff, and then we get mad at people getting mad about stuff. And I think I've even said this thing I'm saying now before too.
I think so.
We gotta get some new topics on the ScruffCast.
Yeah, we added a listener to try to inject some life, but we're still going back to our old shtick.
Yeah, that's it.
Problem is, I took your side on it. Here, I'll be the devil's advocate. So you got the idea of, if you're going to go with, what do you call that, tongue-in-cheek advertising kind of thing, like you're going to be a little risque, you're going to be kind of on the edge. You have to accept that there's going to be some people who are going to be upset. Now, I think, the old, sex sells, sex, drug, and rock and roll sells kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that always had protests and stuff, but at the end of the day, if it's going to get a few more people in your doors, you don't care kind of thing, right?
And I think that's totally fair. My problem comes from the people being like, I don't like this. You should change it. Or you should take it down. You're not entitled to anything.
Yeah.
Not
Shut
only
your
are you
mouth.
probably fat and ugly, you're kind of a whiny, entitled bitch.
Those people are for sure fat and ugly.
Oh, yeah. Nobody who's
100%.
Nobody who's not ugly and not fat is looking at that sign
Well,
and
you gotta
going
think,
like,
this is Alabama.
think of the fat and ugly people. I feel bad for them.
This
That was a
isn't
little
like
Alabama
this
at the
isn't
end there.
pure fact, but it's probably pretty close. 80% of Alabamaers are fat and ugly for sure.
So let me
You
ask
know?
you this: in the ScruffCast World Rankings, where you've got Montreal / all of Quebec at the very top of scum,
I
then
have
Buffalo
Buffalo
right
up
under.
to number one.
Where's Alabama?
Oh no, Alabama's like it's still low, but
Are they like under Buffalo? Is there like
I got no
quite a bit of
beef.
stuff
I got no
between-
beef with Alabama.
You got no beef. Well, you said only 80%, so that's not bad. You hated all of Quebec, so
Oh yeah. Oh, just,
we're not digging back. We're not getting back into those old.
no, we
wounds.
won't. No, but I'm just saying, it's Alabama. They're all their sisters, cousins, and aunts and stuff, right?
She lives up the road with her mom and his sister.
Yeah. I
Oh,
know.
what are their names? No, it's the same person.
You're probably all ugly because you probably are all disfigured.
I don't know. I think at the end of the day,
You're all sleeping with your sisters.
you have a right
bunch
to
of weirdos.
complain, though, right? Like, you can complain about whatever you want. And these people
Of course.
are just exercising that right. However, you don't reserve the right to be taken seriously, and that's why the ScruffCast exists, to just absolutely destroy these people
God
who
damn.
put their face out there complaining about being called ugly by a billboard. Didn't have your name at the bottom, folks.
Love that. We should have this guy on more often.
Whoa. We're not through the whole podcast.
You're right.
We might have peaked.
But you moved up to 8.7 out of 10.
There we go.
That's
I'll let
not
you know that.
bad.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. All right, on to the next one.
On to the next one.
All right, so we're kind of talking about people us going back to our old shtick. Well, somebody else in the news this week, they're going back to their old shtick. Televangelist Jesse Duplantis. He's going back to his old shtick. He's reaching out for donations because he's got to preach around the world, and in order to do so, he needs a $54 million jet.
It only makes sense.
It only makes sense. And now I say his old shtick because apparently he's reached out for money before 3 times previously to buy jets. So, Louisiana-based televangelist Jesse Duplantis raised eyebrows Tuesday when he said God told him he needs a new jet. He's famous for preaching the prosperity gospel. He's putting out the call for $54 million from his followers so he can buy a jet. His current private jet, 12 years old.
So he already
bueno.
has a private jet.
He's already,
It's just a little
he's already
old.
got 3 private jets. But 12 years old, Dan. So he's got his eyes set on the Falcon 7X, a 3-engine plane capable of carrying 12 to 16 passengers at speeds of up to 700 miles per hour. He told his followers, if Jesus set foot on earth today, he wouldn't be riding on a donkey, but instead, and this is in quotes right from him, he'd be in an airplane preaching the gospel flying all over the world.
Yeah.
Duplantis also added, God told him, in quotes here, I want you to believe in me for a Falcon 7X. Jesus Christ, this guy's so full of it. So, however, he when he worried about the price, God told him, Jesse, I didn't ask you to pay for it. I asked you to believe for it.
Oh, boy. So he's already previously bought jets in 1994, 2004, and 2006. Why did he need 2 jets within 2 years?
I'll tell you why. Right according to him. Yeah. I use them. And just burning them up for the Lord Jesus Christ. You know, some people believe that preachers shouldn't have jets. I really believe preachers ought to go on every available voice, every available outlet to get this gospel preached to the world.
Now, I don't disagree with him there.
I can't fault his logic.
No. But asking for donations to buy a private jet is a little much.
Now, you might be worrying, like, is he doing anything shady with the money? Man, Caolan, he's got us covered for that too. He says, I like all people to know exactly what I'm doing in this ministry. We don't hide nothing whatsoever at all. I can't live long enough to travel by car or by ship or by train, but I can do it by airplane. I don't want to learn how to fly it. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in preaching the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. He's got it all figured out, Dan.
So, like, this is like such an extreme version of like the church. The church comes with a little donation basket. They pass it around. They ask you for money. You know, you throw $5 and you throw a toonie and whatever it is, right? I think that's ridiculous. This guy's asking for $54 million.
That's a lot of goddamn money.
$54 million for a jet. How much money does this guy have? Like, how much money does this guy pull in?
This guy's got a lot of money because apparently he regularly preaches to his audience on Trinity Broadcasting Network. I wouldn't be surprised if he owned the network. He regularly preaches to his audience on Trinity Broadcasting Network that God blesses people who please him with material wealth. He's running a gigantic Ponzi scheme here. Oh, he has a biography where he claimed it's his mission to reach every soul of the 7 billion people that now inhabit the earth, making sure each one has an opportunity to know the real Jesus. Approachable, personable, compassionate, and full of joy the way he knows Jesus.
Yeah.
And he was actually investigated back in 2010 for a $3 million tax-free house serving as a church that was paid through non-taxable donations, as legally he was not permitted to take the donations for personal use.
So
oh my God!
He claimed his house was a church. The $3 million house.
It shows here. His flight records show he took thousands of trips on his private planes, and he also defended the use of his jets on a Trinity Broadcasting Network show in 2015. So people were like, "Hey, well, you know, you're taking a lot of flights on these jets," and he went on his broadcast network to be like, "Whoa, it's all kosher. Jesus, you know, he said it's all good.
He told me to take these flights.
He told me. He really blesses the people out there who give me money."
$54 million to be exact.
The whole idea of a
and then in 10 years, I'll ask for $100 million.
What, Dan? It's inflation. You want the poor guy to be homeless? Come on.
No, I get it. Caolan?
I'm sitting here listening to a story about a guy who has successfully in the past extracted enough money from his followers to buy jets. He's already done this 3 times.
I gotta say,
why not go back to that wealth?
I haven't seen any of our ScruffCast followers give us any money at all.
That's
Is this guy a better success?
Maybe we should start asking.
Yeah. We asked for some goddamn thumbs up on YouTube, and they're not even get a thumbs up. Can't even give a thumbs up. If you're listening to this on YouTube right now,
this guy's pulling in money for 3 private jets, going for his 4th.
Give us a thumb up.
I think we need to make this a preacher podcast, and then that's the way to get the money in the jets.
Oh, the Lord Jesus Christ!
Jesus, take the wheel, drive to the bank, and take out all your cash,
Jesus.
and send it our way.
Jesus, grab the stick and steer me into salvation.
Oh boy,
all this stuff.
But you know what? The sad thing is, people will donate. People will buy it, and people will donate. You know what I mean? And that's where you just take advantage of people. But I guess at the same time, those people are stupid. You know, it's their own fault. But they just believe in the faith. You know, Jesus told them to.
The whole idea of a televangelist. Now, I like to think, how does one actually become a televangelist? Like, was this person actually religious in their younger years, and then they thought, I want to preach the word of the Lord to everybody on the Trinity Broadcast Network? Or were they just in it from the beginning, just scheming? I don't know.
You know what? I think you just don't hear about the guys who aren't scheming because they're just reading the Bible. And
they're just doing normal things.
They're just doing normal things. Okay, whatever.
You only hear about the scammers and the pedophiles.
You only hear about the scammers. But, I think one thing to think about is, like, it's tough. Danny, you talked about, you toss it in your 5s and your 2s for, the plate at church kind of thing. It's like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. It's like, in theory, the church is, hosting soup kitchens and maintaining the roof and stuff like that. So it's like, all right,
you're
that
right.
kind of goes back to the needy in the parish. Now, don't get me wrong; they definitely buy themselves Subway lunches out of that collection plate. They do. I can prove that.
Oh, and they're getting the chicken bacon ranch. They're not getting the $5 footlong of the day.
They're not getting sub of the day. They're splurging. They're going for the combo with the
not
chips.
waiting for Saturday for the meatball. They get that whenever they want.
But I do understand. Oh, they're getting the meatball whenever they want. I'll tell you that. Caleb.
Whoa, we're not going into
Just
that.
the little
This one.
meatballs. That's all.
It's not a foot long either.
Oh dear God. No, but I do understand though. Like
you dropped your ranking.
Yeah, you're 5.
I continued your joke. That was my mistake.
You took it too far.
All right.
No, I understand the need to donate money to a church to maintain the church, to keep the church running, right? Because they're free services for people. Right? You don't have to put in money. I go to church every once in a while.
You don't have to put in the money unless you want to burn in hell.
You know what I mean?
What kind of choice is that?
I don't put money in there, but
oh my God, you
well,
sinner!
you know what? If they came around with debit machines, I may tap $5 on there. I don't know. But
Don't give them any ideas.
I don't got
Dan.
cash.
They're gonna bring one of those.
you give it a
one
couple
of those
years. They'll have one.
Those robots that goes by with like the iPad on the top. And
The Square?
Would
Was that company the Square company? Boop, boop.
Just swipe.
How much would you like to donate, sir?
Well, you can imagine
throw me
it.
in for $2.
You can
You
imagine
have
our
selected
preacher going up there.
200.
We need $500 to make an NFC eligible plate so y'all can donate more money for our needy in the parish.
Ridiculous.
Well, where it gets kind of like a gray area is that churches are like tax free.
Yeah.
Right? Which is why this guy was able to set up a sweet $3 million house and be like, "It's for Jesus. Don't tax me."
Yeah.
Well, in theory, they're not a profit-seeking firm or anything. Like
That's what they want you to believe.
Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, the guy seeking jets is probably a profit-seeking firm, and
Definitely.
not with a PH. I mean, profit as in money. That was a really bad joke. Just let's move on from that one.
But the thing I think is he's just broadcasting on TV, right?
Televangelist.
So what services is he offering that are free? You're telling me you get a regular cable subscription, which is not free. You get the Trinity Broadcast Network. I bet these people are paying every month.
It's like HBO, man.
Yeah.
I don't
Damn,
know.
I got that Game of Thrones every Sunday night, but every Sunday morning I got my coffee with Jesus.
There you go.
Like,
Game of Whores featuring Mary Magdalene.
Whoa.
Oh,
The Bible
jeez.
reference.
Oh, come on, that was a
The
good
Bible reference.
He's the
from
one who
Danny in
said
the
he
corner.
one. Give
went to
myself an A+ for that one.
he's the one who said he went to church. And he's not giving any money, so Jesus is frowning on you.
We're getting a new line of humor from Danny's church visits now.
That's
kind of
right.
thing.
I've been
It's
learning
gonna be
all
great.
about the Bible.
The Bible.
The Bible. Moving on to another plane-related story. This one's a short one, but we thought we'd end it off with a funny. So, this is in Caolan, BC. A woman was in her car, and with her sunroof open, and all of a sudden, something started falling from the sky. So, I will read the quote to you right here. This is from her. I started crying, and I'm like, I'm covered in poo. So, essentially, the whole thing was a plane flew over by and I guess let out the waste from the airplane.
Yeah,
and
there's a second
splattered this woman in poo.
There's a second
Go ahead.
part of the quote here.
Okay, let's hear.
The car was just inundated with poop. It was just falling from the sky. You could feel the drops hitting you. When I looked up, there was nothing above but a plane flying.
Oh god, that's so gross.
Yeah, apparently 3 days later, a man found a similar mess on his car, which was parked in his driveway. So Transport Canada said it's investigating the alleged incidents.
And that's really it. But I like poop stories.
Was it a convertible? Did he say that at the beginning?
It was
Sunroof
the sunroof was open.
I just love that. I started crying and I'm like, I'm covered in poo. We had the poo throwing story last week. We had to get the
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. We had to get the poo drop story.
Time flies.
This week.
Time flies when
Can we
talking
talk
about poop.
about the verbiage in that quote for a second? Inundated in poo? She practiced that before that she got to the papers.
Yeah, because before she says, and I'm like. So, yeah.
Yeah, she got her publicist.
Quotes taken at two separate times, I would say.
I think she said, all right, I'm about to report a story where I'm going to end up covered in poo. I'm going to at least seem like educated.
Educated about my poo story.
Let's see, what's a good word? Oh, inundated.
If I had any sort of newsworthy incident happen to me, if I'm this woman, like, I'm starting to write in a book about the time I'm driving down the highway and I got hit by the poo.
Oh.
At the very least, it'd be self-published on the Kindle store.
You know, the perfect way this story ends is if it turns out it's a preacher plane flying over dropping poo.
Preachers poop. Blasters people.
Well, Jesus just can't have that poo flying through the air being spread to the people. He's got to spread the good word.
He's got to spread the good turd.
All right, that one brought you back up. You're back at an 8.8 now.
All right, moving on. We have ourselves a listener email this week.
We do.
All right, I'll read it here. Dear John and Dan.
Well, what's the subject?
Oh my God, we always gotta read. Okay, the subject is bueno.
Because there's 3 question marks.
3 question marks. A bueno. All right. Dear John and Dan, I'm loving the new format of the podcast. It's funny, entertaining, and somewhat knowledgeable. Thank you.
Somewhat.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not very knowledgeable, but
Backhanded
we
compliment
worked
there.
really hard at this new format, obviously.
Of course.
And so, thank you. So, they go on to say, what's going on with Bueno? I haven't heard it in the last 2 episodes. Is the Bueno dead? Please tell me it isn't so. Now, it's interesting because for those who listened last week, we didn't say no bueno once.
Yes.
Usually it's you, John, that
Yes,
says it.
and that's because we activated the special ScruffCast Catch 22 perk. Every 22 episodes, we don't say bueno or no bueno. So keep your ears open for episode 44.
That's right. So anyway, also a question here. So, also a question to ponder. If you could only see 3 people for the rest of your life, who would they be? And then they go on to say, perhaps you can add a question to ponder every week to your podcast. Then your loyal listener. That's interesting. We can add a question to ponder.
Oh, maybe right on the outro every week, we'll give the listeners a little question, be like, ponder this. And then provide them with a question.
You could say,
We could try.
scruff your chin over this one, listeners.
Oh, man. Not bad.
I'm just giving these for free.
Not bad,
Not bad.
but
Not great.
I'm nothing to blog about.
Okay, so if you could only see 3 people for the rest of your life, who would they be? John, we're going to start with you.
So I have a question about the question.
Okay.
Are these like I'm spending time with these people, or is it like just people I could see? Because if I was like a religious person, I could be like, I'd add Jesse Duplantis, the televangelist, to this, so then I could watch TV and still see him. Or like, is this like everybody else disappears, or is it just like spend face-to-face time with these people?
I get like, I'm assuming like spend face-to-face time.
Okay.
Like, not everybody in the world disappears except for these 3 people, but it's like you can only now see these 3 people. When you walk down the street, you're going to see random people you don't know, but you'll never see the old people that you used to know. Like, you'll never run into them ever again.
So like the homeless people on the streets will disappear, the same guy you walk
No,
by?
I mean like your old friends, whoever you didn't choose,
All right. Fair
kind of
enough.
won't run into them again. Like
All
if
right.
you knew them previously.
Now, should I give you my 3, or should we each go around and give one at a time?
Oh, let's do that. That's more
right.
fun.
Oh, okay.
It's like a human draft. That's what we're doing right now. With the first overall selection, John chooses.
My girlfriend, Taryn.
Oh, so sweet.
So
Caolan?
romantic.
Oh, that's a tough one. I guess I'll go with my mom.
Oh, doesn't even choose his girlfriend. She doesn't listen to this anyway, so she'll never hear about it.
What?
But we'll
you
make
should
sure
get
we
her
tell her.
listening to the ScruffCast.
That's true.
All right, I would choose my fiance, Anna, of course.
Fair enough.
That's it. You have all yours picked out, don't you, John?
Yes, I do.
I don't. I don't have.
I've
any
thought
picked
about
out.
the scenario plenty of times.
Oh, goddamn.
With my second
I better be in one
selection,
of
my
these 3.
first
We're about
pick
to find out.
of the second round of the draft, I will choose my brother,
Okay.
my younger brother.
All right.
On to you, Caolan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go number 2 with my daddy. Pretty
Okay, so he's
basic.
got mom and dad.
Got
so
mom
far.
and dad
Mom and
so
daddy.
far. Can't live without mom and dad.
Okay. I can't choose my parents. I can't choose as one, right?
Well,
No,
would
I
have
can't
done
say
that
my
then.
parents.
No.
Ugh.
What are you, some kind of lawbreaker here?
Okay.
Breaking the rules?
No, I don't know.
The rules you
Okay, I'm gonna
made.
just leave them out because it's unfair to only choose one.
Yeah, or you could use your next 2 picks
So
on
I'm just
them
going to leave
each.
them both off.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'll just leave them both off. They'll understand. You know, I'll have contact with them through others. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, so the second pick, probably my sister.
Okay.
I'd probably take my sister with the second overall, the second round selection for me.
Now, with my first pick of the 3rd round selection, don't get weepy over here, but I'm going to pick Dan.
Oh!
So then we can keep the ScruffCast going. And then I don't need to see my parents because they can just listen to
They can
this
just
every
listen
week.
to you. That's a good one. Except I'm not going to choose you for my third, though.
Oh, betrayal.
So the ScruffCast is over. No, I haven't even decided on my third, so maybe you'll jump in there.
Betrayal in the studio. I'm not going to pick either member of the ScruffCast because I get to listen to them because they're available on so many forms of media.
Tell them where we're available,
iTunes,
Caolan.
YouTube, Google Play, get our merch. We don't have merch yet.
We don't
but
have
one
There's
day.
merch?
Not yet.
I'm definitely a big YouTube guy, so I don't have to pick you guys for that reason. But
All right,
with
fair
my
enough.
third pick, just being real boring here, I'm going to pick my brother. I'm from a small 3-person or 4-person family if you count me, so I'm just going to keep my family around.
Jesus
the
Christ.
girlfriend gets
doesn't
the
choose his
cold
girlfriend in the top
shoulder.
3.
Oh, I'm
boy.
weeping for her.
I'm heartbroken.
She can pick her family and be perfectly happy. If I like,
Well, I tell you what, she'd probably be happy without you after hearing that.
Oof, thanks.
You
Dan.
rationalize your decisions however you want, but
All right, with
you
my
just lost a few points on her behalf.
with my third pick, I'll take the easy way out, and I'll pick God. No, I'm kidding.
You want to make up for those jokes?
No, I'll choose John too, the easy way out, because
Yeah,
then we
the
can keep the ScruffCast
ScruffCast
going.
keeps
I'll
going.
do that. I'll do that. So
I like
that's
this
it.
new Bible Belt Dan we got going on here. And with my third pick, I pick my Lord and Savior.
My Lord and Savior. Televangelist, Jesse,
Save the
whatever his name
bring
is.
it back, and I'll pick you every day of the week.
All right, well, that pretty much wraps this episode up.
Should we come up with a question to ponder?
No, not this week. We're unprepared. We'll do it next week.
Yes, we'll do it next week.
Unless you have something you're ready to throw up right now.
I mean, I have one, but you're not going to like it.
What the hell?
All right, so
What is it?
All right, the question to ponder for this week.
Thankfully,
Let's
it's at
hear
the
it.
end, so we can just chop this off.
Yeah, we can cut this right out. Okay, let's hear it.
hard cut right here. All right, you own a sport franchise and you have to draft Jesus Christ onto your team. Which sport do you want him in?
Okay, so we're gonna answer this next week.
Oh yeah, sure.
Wait,
Okay.
can we give our answers to it now?
No, we gotta wait till next week.
Oh, but I've already got mine figured
Then
out.
save it for next week.
All right. I'm typing it right into our show notes.
It's to get the people to listen to the next week's. 'cause
You know what?
They get to
I
hear
like
it.
this idea. That
Jesus
was a great
Christ
question.
in a draft.
All right, which sport is Jesus Christ drafted into, or which sport is Jesus Christ best at? I guess we can change the question up a little bit.
No, I like it. I like it.
right.
I like it. Okay. All right, that's the question
I think
to
this is
ponder.
going to be a new thing. We give them a little thing to
Well,
think
there.
about.
This
over
is
the
what we
week.
said. You email us. We'll use your ideas. We'll use anything. You want us, we'll try it. We're open to anything. Any suggestions. We're all
Listeners
over.
writing in, and we're taking them up on it.
The best part about ScruffCast is the audience participation.
That's right. We have an audience member here.
Yeah.
This could be you.
Literally, this is. If you
four
guys
easy-
want to be on the show, just ask. We'll let you on.
If you just hang around sick kids' hospital long enough, they'll think that you need help.
Or for 4
Look at
easy
this poor
payments
little
of
guy.
$19.99, you could visit the studio and take a tour.
We're just trying to get a studio, not even a jet.
Or if we can raise $50 million, we'll bring the ScruffCast to you.
All right. So as we say, you can email us at scruffcast@gmail.com. Check us out at Twitter @scruffcast. John, the Instagram is
The
the ScruffCast. You can find us on YouTube. Caolan, that's your source of listening. How do you find us?
I searched ScruffCast on YouTube because they need a few more subscribers to get the special URL.
He knows
Damn, he
it.
already knows how
He
the
knows
5
it.
minutes of shameless promotion at the end of the podcast goes.
He listens
Loyal
through it. I'm
listener
happy.
over there.
And what you also probably listen to is this sweet beat coming up right now. Anyway, that's it for this episode of the ScruffCast. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Got me like, oh, as I'm watching her go. All I'm thinking is, oh, damn, that bad thing. I can tell you're really good at distracting.